On to week 11 with some big predictions for this week. Last week, we were fine. We went 9-5, okay? A really solid week, but hey, at this point, my record is pretty good. I'm 102-50 in terms of predictions on this season, so I'm pretty happy with that. Let's just keep it up. Gotta get another good week in here, though. Another, 1 or 2 loss week. But either way, before we get into this video, let me remind you to check out DUBBY.gg. Use code SHREDDER for 10% off your order of anything on their website. Right here, here's 2 flavors they got. The mystery flavor, the green apple flavor, both are super good. They also, this one's my favorite, the blue raspberry. These are like the best energy drinks I've ever tasted. I'm not even just saying that. Like, they actually are. They're very good. They don't have that energy, kind of aftertaste. They don't really have that. It's just a good flavored drink. Either way, check them out at w.gg or click the link in the description, and let's get right into this video. Just as a recap, here is where I was wrong just last week. So, the Ravens did win, and the rest of these I got right in the AFC. But then the Patriots beat the Bears, and the Cardinals beat the Jets. There's 3 of them, and then the last 2 were these 2 right here. Both 20-7 victories for I would say the definite underdogs in both games. So, hey, a lot of these teams, the Patriots, the Panthers, the Saints, the Cardinals, that one's back and forth. But these were all upsets, I think. And, I predicted an upset in the Bengals, but oh well. Either way, let's get to this week. Starting off, just to let you know, strangely, 4 NFC teams are on bye this week. That doesn't usually happen. The Panthers, the Bucks, the Giants, and the Cardinals, they are all on bye. This is our slate of games for the week. We have a really interesting week, in my opinion. Starting off with, let's go with Thursday Night Football. Eagles, Commanders. Honestly, the 2-team race for the NFC East. I think the team who is, in my opinion, just by far and away the better team is going to win this one. That's the Philadelphia Eagles. They have figured out their identity, I think, and I think they're going to, really put it together. The Commanders, there's been a lot of hype for them throughout the last year, or excuse me, 7-8 weeks it is. And, it's well-deserved hype. They've been incredible, honestly. But at the same time, I think we all subconsciously, if not more than that, know that this team's really not as good as they have been. They've had a great season. They're going to continue to have a good season. They probably are going to make the playoffs as at least a wild card seed. But, no, I think Philly's going to start to take away this division, and it's going to separate by this game right here. Another big division game. A lot of division games this week, actually. Packers and Bears, a really good one. Give me the Packers in this one. The Bears have fallen behind in this division. It looks like confidence is shaken all around the team. Shane Waldron was just fired. Caleb Williams, they were considering benching him simply for the fact of they didn't want to mess his confidence up, which, that makes not a whole lot of sense. So, yeah, either way. Packers are the better team. We got, they're coming off a bye week. Jordan Love, Josh Jacobs got a chance to get healthy, or at least more healthy than they were. So hopefully they get out there and are able to, at least be healthy. That's what I want to see. Win or lose, who cares? We want to see players stay healthy, remain healthy, and give us the best version of football that we can see. Seahawks and Niners. I'm not a big fan of the Seahawks. If you've been around the channel, you know that. Niners are going to take this one. Seahawks, they just don't strike me as a very good team. They're just, in my opinion, not the greatest. In any way, shape, or form. I don't think Geno's amazing. I don't think the defense is as good as it should be with Mike McDonald, honestly. I'm just not impressed to this point, okay? It's what it is. Dolphins and Raiders in the AFC. Raiders coming off a bye. Dolphins coming off a big win versus the Rams. Give me the Dolphins. Dolphins are going to start separating themselves out here. I really, a couple weeks ago, predicted that from the rest of the season on, either the Dolphins or the Jets will really separate themselves out, go on a run, and finish between about 9-10, maybe 11 wins if everything goes really, really well. They have to win out to get to 11, though. But 9 or 10, I think, is definitely plausible for the Dolphins. I think, they're a better team than their record shows. They've just had a really bad run of losses and injuries. So, playing the Raiders, they're definitely the better team. This should be a good win for them. A huge game. The best rivalry in the NFL. Ravens-Steelers. This one's in Pittsburgh, and, if you know anything about Steelers-Ravens, it's a long time coming, and also, it's one of those that this rivalry is different than most rivalries, it is very smash-mouth, hard-nosed football like other divisions don't ever even see, and it's every single time these two teams meet, and the last 8 games, the Steelers are 7-1, they've only lost 1 time, and that was actually not even to Lamar, it was to Tyler Huntley, but I really think Pittsburgh's going to win this one. I think Pittsburgh right now looks like the better team overall. The offense in Baltimore is better than Pittsburgh's offense, but the gap between offenses is vastly different than the gap between defenses. And the Steelers' defense is far better than the Ravens' defense. The Ravens' pass defense is basically the worst in the league this year. It's not good. They're going to struggle with that, and Russell Wilson has a legitimate chance, especially with the moon balls he throws. Marlon Humphrey is a very handsy guy. Brandon Stevens is a very handsy guy. They're going to get called for a lot of penalties in this game. Expect that to happen. And hopefully the refs let them play, but play fairly. But yeah, this is going to be a tough one. I am going to go with Pittsburgh, though, to continue their dominance over Baltimore. If they can win with Kenny Pickett and Mitch Trubisky, and they can win with definitely Russell Wilson and Arthur Smith and that crew, I definitely think they'll be better there. Colts and Jets. Very tough one here. 4-6 versus 3-7. Give me both teams to move to 4-7. Jets are, I think, the better team. I think. Not really sure, though. Bills and Kansas City. A great game. I believe this one is at 3, maybe? No, yeah, it's at 3:25, I think. I could be wrong. Don't count me on that. But it'll be the window that everybody's trying to watch in that 3 o'clock window, if it is in the 3 o'clock window. Chiefs and Bills, though, that is a... Man, here we go again. And I think this is where the Chiefs get their first loss. And I don't usually bet against the Chiefs just because, they're sacrificing kids under the stadium or doing something to bring up voodoo magic and whatever. I don't know. It's crazy. But the Bills are a different team this year, I think. I think they're just play differently. They are different in general. I don't really know why, but they are. Josh Allen, he's their offense, but he's also not as big of an issue as he used to be somehow, even though his role's probably gotten bigger. I think it's just the dynamicism of a great player. And the Chiefs have been winning games with very interesting mistakes this year, to say the least. This one's going to be one that's going to be harder to get away from. You got away from Denver last week. Buffalo's going to be a lot harder. And then this is a really good game. A battle between, 2019 draft class quarterbacks. Chargers, Bengals. Bengals really need to win this one. They are 4-6. Chargers are 6-3. This is one that the Bengals really have to win, or their season might be gone. It might be a completely wasted season, and they're in a bad spot. So this one is one, honestly, I think I'm going to have to come back to. I want to go with the Chargers, and I think I'm going to for now. I'm taking all the home teams over here in the AFC. And for our interconference matchups, Titans, Vikings. Titans haven't been very good. The Vikings are starting to slow down, but they are playing the Titans, so we're fine. I think they'll be okay. Browns, Saints. Browns coming off the bye. That's great. Doesn't matter. Saints are definitely better than the Browns. The Browns are terrible, man. Jameis Winston can only be so good. And, at least they have Derek Carr, who's a lot better than Jameis Winston. However, Jameis Winston could, come back and try to beat his former team that he was backing up for a long time. That could be a very big motivating factor to push them to a win. But give me the Saints so far, man. Patriots and Rams, both coming off of a big week for them. A bad loss, a big win. Give me the Rams. I think they're going to kind of, they always can't do this. They go really crappy. They're 5-5 every year, and then boom, they win the last 7 games, and they're 12-5, and it looks great, right? Or they're 11-6 or whatever it is. But I have more faith in the Rams. They're the better team. Yeah, they're going to New England, but let's be real. New England kind of sucks. I mean, they got a good win last week versus another rookie quarterback and a team that's in shambles. But this team's not quite like that. They are a much more confident and able team in LA. I think they'll be the winner here. And then the Jaguars and the Lions battle here. That's a good one, actually. This could be a better game than I think most people think it'll be. I think a lot of people think they're going to blow them out, and they very well might. They absolutely very well might. But the thing about the Jaguars is they are a lot better than people actually really think they are, and they're a lot, they're not as bad as their record shows, even if they're playing down to what their record is, if that makes sense. By that, I mean, they have talent on this team. They just decided this year that they're not going to show it. Give me the Lions either way. The Lions are running away with it. They're 9-1 in the conference. They're having a great year over in Detroit, and all that is shocking to just about everyone who is breathing and alive right now. The Atlanta Falcons, the Denver Broncos. The Broncos are kind of in a funk. They're 5-5 now. They were 5-3. The Atlanta Falcons, bad loss last week to the Saints. But it's a division game. I think they're going to recuperate that loss here. They're going to move to 7-4 and take a pretty firm hold on this division. It's going to be hard to come back from that now. I'm seeing that they're 7-4 and the next team is 4-6. That's rough. Then the Texans and the Cowboys. Man, battle of Texas. Give me Houston. Houston's a lot better than Dallas. Dallas is going to be 3-7. Could this be the game they fire Mike McCarthy? No, probably not. They're not going to do it in the season, I don't think. But, hey, I mean, this is the most lucky year for the Texans they could have. The Jaguars being bad again. the Titans sucking, and whoever else is their division, I can't even think right now. The Colts being completely mediocre. And they're not even playing good football, really, but they're winning more games than everybody else by a wide margin. That's all that matters, because your division sucks, you get a bye. So, there you go. Looking back over this, the Bengals-Chargers game is my biggest, unsure game here, I guess. I'm not really sure what I want to think about that one, but I'm going to leave it as is. I'm going to stick with the Chargers. I'm going to ride it out. Now move to 7-3. That's a big one for them. That's a bad one for the Bengals. This game, if the Bengals lose, effectively knocks them out of the playoffs in the AFC. They're going to have a pretty much an insurmountable lead on either team in the top 2 of the AFC North if this is how it plays out. Even if it plays out the other way, where we see 8-3 and 7-3, they're still so far behind. But either way, with this, our lock of the week, let's find a good one here. Lock of the week. Give me Steelers over Ravens. I think it's a lock, man. Not to be too confident in my team, but they play the Ravens well every time, and honestly, this is probably the worst version of the Ravens that they've played in a few years. Now, probably the same reason why that is exactly why they'll lose, but either way, who knows? And then our upset of the week, we're going to go with the Bills over the Chiefs. I mean, it is an upset one way or another. You could also maybe argue the no, you really can't argue anything else. There's pretty much everything else. I guess Chargers, Bengals could maybe be an upset, but they shouldn't be. Bills over Chiefs is probably the biggest upset possible. Let's look at this draft order. Something different this week as we're getting towards the end of the season. Jaguars with the number 1 pick at this point in time. What would they take? I'd say maybe Travis Hunter. That'd be a big possibility. And then the Browns, maybe Cam Ward, maybe Shadur Sanders. I don't think Shadur is going to go to the Browns, though. Now, he might go to the Giants. Maybe Cam Ward, maybe Shadur Sanders. Then we got, all these teams, Niners at 18. Yikes, not good. Either way, that would be the potential draft order if this plays out this way and the rest of the season does play out in a similar fashion. But either way, thank y'all for watching. Appreciate y'all for sticking out to the end of the video. Make sure to like and subscribe. Doesn't cost you a single thing and helps me out a ton. And I will see y'all in the next video.